You matter. You matter to me. Thank you for subscribing, for coming back, for watching. I'm Lori at Positive Thanks Living, and I'm working on altered art journals. I have 3 of them on the go, and I've put gesso on some, and I've painted some, and just experimenting with different art techniques all through the books. These are books from the 1960s, and they're being repurposed into art journals so that, it's art with odds and ends, and it's making me realize that it's not about perfection. Rather, it's about experimentation. And you just have to keep going, putting layer over layer until, whatever seeds that you've sown, that's what matters, not the harvest. You can use illustrations that are already in the book. Pages are beautiful, and you can use all the extras that you have sitting around. That's pet tape, for example. It's kind of shiny, but it's clear, and it sticks. And it leaves space so that you can put journaling or scripture or write down what you're thankful for. I have some new washi tape by Nazi at Amity Bloom, and I'm thrilled to be playing with it in this journal. And so I have the stickers from the different washi tape all over. This is paper from sewing patterns, and I just layered it onto the page until you can't see what's written underneath. Glued it down layer on layer on layer. A little bit of fabric, a little bit of lace, a die cut it's a fussy cut. Now this one is my favorite page, and I've used embossing folders to emboss the paper. This is a little machine that came to live with us. It was our daughter's first, and that's my favorite. This is a coffee filter. Funny, not funny story. I had lit a candle for Wave of Light, which is Infant Remembrance Night, and the coffee filter got too close to the flame and it burst into flame. So, flames and art, not good. These are all the different stickers from the washi tape, and they are on a guest check inside of a envelope. It's a glassine envelope, and it's just different things that I have around, and I want to experiment a little bit. That's a CD envelope. I used distress ink on it and then glued it to the page and used some washi tape. Now there are some digitals, and it started by me finding this stamp, and we'll work with that a little later, but it's Sir John McCrae, a Canadian poet. You can use the illustrations that's already on the pages. I covered up the parts I didn't like. You can use paper. Now this I have spritzed in our garage, a whole big line of them. They're tea dye and water food coloring, and it just splotches. So put that down with some fabric and lace. And these are more book pages that I just embossed with different folders. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but I have a piece that I painted with Waverly chalk paint, inexpensive Walmart stuff, and then I put it through the embosser. And these paintings, I followed Susanne Rose Art on YouTube. The link is below. And I did what she did. I followed along. This was some late night crafting when I found myself awake in the middle of the night, not able to sleep. And the sound of her voice was relaxing. And I could just do this mindlessly until I was tired enough to sleep. It's a pen, a brush pen I had around. I think I'd rather use one that is not, it's water activates it. So one that isn't that way would be good. But I have some regular water paints, and I'm not even doing it properly, you can tell. It's just, I should have a jar of water to rinse my brush, and I don't. So the paint that's above is just plain watercolor, and the paint on the left has some shimmer in it, and I just put both of them on the page. And the nice part of these book pages is it doesn't go through. You can't see it on the opposite side. I wish I'd picked it up and shown it to you. I added some splatters. She did that. Susanne did in her video. So I thought, why not? A little later you're going to see me use ones that I've cut out. Yeah, again, it's not about perfection. It's about planting seeds. And it's about being thankful. Yes, thankful. Thankful that we can make art. It's something that can speak to your heart. And even if no one else sees it, yeah, we matter, huh? So let's work on this one. I'm going to read you the poem. It's about the poppies that are growing in Flanders fields, which is in France. Flanders. In Flanders fields the poppies blow between the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago we lived, felt drawn, dawn saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. So John McCrae was born in Guelph, Ontario, Canada, and he was a poet and an artist, but he was also a surgeon, a doctor, and he wrote this poem after he watched some of his friends die in tragic circumstances, and he himself passed away before the war was ended, the First World War. This has been a poem that I remember from childhood. I grew up in Canada, and November 11th was Remembrance Day in Canada. And that was a poem that we learned and we were very familiar with. My mother-in-law had her home close to his childhood home, so we would tour that every now and again with our children. So I'll probably write a little part of the poem there on this page. And I used dots from pens. They're meant for bullet journaling, you know, to make dots and that on in the squares. But then I started watching an artist who used these pens to make decoration points. So I decided to just experiment a little bit in making borders. Also, there's a line on the right hand side that is a texture. It's pearlescent drops. You let them dry overnight and then they become sharp. They're raised texture. And for me, it was sort of like the barbed wire concept. So I'm just showing you a little bit of making those dots, and I'll grab a spare piece of paper now and try to show you how they work. You can use them to make commas or to make designs, and I used to be able to make really nice hearts with it. You can see me trying here with varying degrees of success. So you could make an entire row of hearts. Sometimes when I send happy mail, I'll decorate the envelope with these. Now this is a paper napkin and just the white part. And those are flowers that our granddaughter, she picked for me, and I dried them. And so I just put them on that page. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but it's a start. And that's a paper napkin, the top part. And I'm going to glue it onto the page and then use the sticker. It's a sticker with a statement. Throw confetti around like kindness. Throw kindness around like confetti. That's it. Yeah. Do you have stickers that are in your drawers, in your stash, that you'd want to use? The colors seemed to work together, and then I added a border of the dots to sort of make it cohesive. And you can see me later when I pull out another piece of trim to add to the page. So you start somewhere, you experiment, you keep adding things, and if it's ugly, you just add more things, more layers, more items, until it's something that you enjoy. Now this is art glitter glue in this little bottle, and at the end of the video I'm going to show you how I get the glue in the bottle. But when glue stick doesn't work for me, I use this glue. It adheres, it dries clear. It's my go-to glue. And there's no glitter in the glue, it's just the name of the company. But you have to make sure that you put the lid back on or it dries. That's what the pin is for. May not be the safest choice, kind of like lighting a candle on your craft table. Yeah, but you need to unstick the nozzle sometimes. So in addition to all kinds of different techniques with art products, you can also use textures, whether it's lace or ribbon or trim or fabric. And that's what this page is showing. Now this is a fabric flip that was sent to me in Happy Mail, and I'm using it here. And it was okay. The page was fine. And I thought, nope, it's still missing something. And you see me trying to do a few other things. And later on, I add some of my painting that I've cut out of the book page. Choosing a little bit of lace trim. And I'll probably write a quote on there. Wherever there is a empty spot, I'm saving that for different quotes that I keep. I have an app on my phone called Day One, and whenever I find a quote on any social media, I put it in there, and later on I'll put it in the art journal. Now here I'm using this piece of paper, the book page, that I painted and embossed. I'm going to use it as a pocket. It's going to tuck those pieces of embossed paper in the pocket, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this page yet either. But I know that this is a pocket. Carefully making sure that I'm gluing the edge up without leaving it glue free, the part that has to be the pocket, and adding a cluster again. Something that came to me in Happy Mail. So there is my piece that I decided I'm going to put here. A little bit of glue stick, and later on I have to add some art glitter glue because the leaf didn't stick properly. And you find that. Again, I'm really growing with this concept that in an art journal, it's just for yourself, and you're learning what will work and what won't. You're learning how to fix what didn't work. You're able to experiment. It's not about perfection. Do you have places to practice that are like that? and to use your art to relax and become, I don't know, take care of the things that you're worrying over. For us, we're planning a move the beginning of next month. And as you might imagine, a move is a lot of stuff in boxes and deciding what to throw away and what to keep. I have a lot of stuff from my mother. It's come lived at our house because she had to go into long-term care. So what do I keep? What do I give away? Yeah, doing this kind of art in an art journal, I've realized that it is a time to use your hands, and it keeps your brain occupied so that basically it can rest even if you can't sleep. So here are the different ones that I painted. Susanne Rose Art was my example, and she's linked below. And I'm just going to glue it on the page. It'll work out. And it was a fun experience to just try something new. And it didn't matter if it didn't work out, because it was just for experimentation, for practice, for my own enjoyment. I feel very thankful and blessed to be able to take the time to do this. I mean, years ago when the children were small, the time wasn't there. So, all things for a season, right? I'm adding this bit of fabric because it seemed like it needed something to be grounded, literally and figuratively. Just flipping back through until we come to the realization that, you can add things or you can stop. I decided I wanted to add that little leaf yet. Here we go. Adding some other things, and I'm realizing I'm pretty much finished right now. I don't know where I'm going to put there. Yeah. You matter. Thank you for watching. Now this is how I put the glue into the little bottle. It comes with a funnel, and I'll be including a funnel with the giveaway that I'm offering. And it's worked for me, but not well. So I have been using a syringe that was from our granddaughter when she was a baby. And the syringe works really well. Now I have a bunch of things, including one of these children's books that I'd like to use as a giveaway. Unfortunately, I cannot offer it to those that are in the world elsewhere other than the US. My budget doesn't cover international shipping, sadly. But I have a plan, I do, for those that are not in the US. And for everybody. One person can only win the giveaway, but leave a comment on this video, leave a comment on next week's video, and then the first video I do in November, I'll announce a winner. And I'll tell you about my plan for everybody else next week. Yeah, this is so far what I've put together, the book and bits and pieces from my stash of, all kinds of different things that might be fun to put in an art journal. Take care. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. Thanks for stopping in. Leave a comment and like and subscribe. It really helps. Take care. See you next week.